We are back with another episode of We Are One, You Are Two, a PlayStation podcast. I am your host, everyone, Rob Fanzo, joined once again this week by Matt Rhodes.
Heyo.
And Matt, we've got a great show lined up for people today. This is episode 55 of the program. We're going to talk a little bit about some news regarding some big games that came out the past couple weeks. We're going to talk about Dreams. We're going to talk about a little bit about Apex Legends, but we're also going to talk about February and the flops that are going on right now. I'm going to call it the February flops, and so we'll get to that as well. So we'll talk about all that, and then we'll talk a little bit about something that'll be out by the time this podcast is out that Matt's played for a few minutes and how it might save February for us and get us leading into March. So that being said, we'll get started. But first, I do want to mention that if you like this and you like what you're hearing, you can join us over on patreon.com/weare1uare2. You can join us over at weare1uare2games.com as well. Or you can head over to Podbean and follow us over there where we are basically dropping this every week to start as well. And so if you like what you hear, please rate us and subscribe to us. Rate us on all the free feeds you can, because that really helps us get exposure so that we can keep doing this. All right, Matt, before we jump into the news and everything that we normally do, what have you been playing?
I have been playing Apex Legends, Robert. I've been playing some Apex Legends. I've been playing some Fortnite. I've been playing some Rocket League. I think that's it. Maybe some. I think some Gunhouse in there as well.
Okay, Gunhouse is good.
Yeah, I do like Gunhouse. But I'm playing. I've played a couple minutes of Trials Rising, but we'll talk more about that later.
Yeah, absolutely. The beta is out right now, so we will talk about that in a little bit. So you've given up on God of War then, because you were playing that a few weeks ago. I was playing it. I haven't given up. It's just that Fortnite is doing these things, is doing that stuff where you can get like a free battle pass. So I'm trying to get all that, make sure I have all that lined up. I'm trying to get better at Apex Legends for you, because I know that you really like to play that more than you like Fortnite. Goodness, do I like to.
Yeah, so I'm trying to kind of split the difference at least a little bit. And then, of course, the new season of Rocket League just started. So I've played my 10 games. I'm Diamond 1. So I got to work my way back up to the champion ranks, hopefully again, so I can win the rewards for that. And then abruptly, like last time, fall all the way back down to like Platinum 3.
Yeah, and I'll be there to help you with that.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
No problem. That's the plan anyway.
Yeah, exactly. What have you been playing, Robert?
Oh, gosh. Well, let's see. Where do I start? I really want to get back into Odyssey, and I've been kind of ignoring it because every time I fire it up, I'm like, I need at least an hour to do that. You know what I mean? Because you run across the map in 10 minutes, you're screwed. So,
oh, yeah, for sure.
I tried to get back into Castlevania and Rondo of Blood, and I was getting pretty angry at the third stage because the Taurus demon that's there was just whooping me, and I'm ashamed to admit that, but I was just struggling. And maybe I'm too used to. I have to get back in that 16-bit, 8-bit mode where you have limited mobility and you can't jump everywhere.
Right.
Because even Castlevania games of today or Metroidvania games of today, you have way more mobility than you did then. So
right.
I was swinging around with that a little bit of Devil May Cry 4 still. And then I was just getting real itchy, and I was like, I need something to play. And so I had started Hollow Knight, and I thought, well, I'll jump back into this because I put about 5 hours into it, and I know that's nothing because it's like a 40-hour game. All of a sudden, now I'm up to almost 10 hours, and so I played a lot of that this week. I just really, really like it. It's just so good, and it's just got its hooks in me. And so I was messing around with that, and of course, been playing Apex Legends. That's the other thing I think about all day. And I don't think about Battle Royale games all day. So I've been thinking about Apex Legends all day. It's like an itch that I need to scratch.
I was thinking about it a little bit today as well because my one of the guys that I work with, he started playing it, but he's on Xbox. So,
oh, okay. So
hopefully soon enough we'll get the team up because that's the other thing that that Rocket League just did. They created a Rocket League friends list, so now you can play.
Yes,
you can.
That's in my news stories for this week.
Yeah, you can play up cross-platform, which is crazy, and I'm assuming that there will be other games to follow just like that. So hopefully soon enough I'll be able to play with him on Apex Legends, even though he's on Xbox.
Yeah, and we'll be talking about that in the news a little bit. For those that don't know, we'll go in just a tiny bit more detail about that.
Sweet.
So other than that, I started Ronin, which is a little I don't even know how to explain it. It is a action turn-based, I don't know, platformer. I have no idea. I guess that's the way to describe it. You would think you move fluently because you do move fluently around the levels until you get to combat, and then you and the enemies take turns. And it's one hit, one kill kind of deal. So it's definitely challenging in trial and error, but I'm enjoying it so far.
Cool.
But yeah, that's pretty much it, I think, for the week. I really want to play more Tetris Effect, but I'd have to purchase it. And unfortunately, I just can't justify $40.
I mean, if it's that good that you really want to play it, why don't you just buy it? You know what I mean?
I know. Well, because I got bad enough of backlog. Anyway, yeah, so that's pretty much it, I guess. So
cool.
Why don't we go ahead and move into the news, and we can talk about some of that stuff.
Sweet.
All right, this is the PS-N. And so I'm just going to go down the list here that I've got. And the first one, most of these are from Push Square, but you could find them on IGN and other gaming websites as well. This is about THQ Nordic Studio. We always talk about them, I feel like every couple of weeks, buying studios. And they released the news. Somebody leaked some information or sent out some information saying that they had just had a huge fundraiser where they raised over $2 million. And so they plan on buying even more studios.
Wow.
To add to the 77 games that they have in development.
Wow.
I feel like this is a pyramid scheme and no one knows what's really going on over there. They're just like, we'll buy your studio and we'll buy your assets and then we'll, I don't know, something weird's going on. I don't understand how this THQ can have this much money, this many studios, and this many games in development. I just don't understand it at all, how this is working.
Yeah.
Someone please explain to me. Write in and explain it to me, because I don't get it. And yet, they've only released, I think, Darksiders 3 and maybe one other game so far. So I have no idea.
Okay.
The next one is, I don't know if you saw this rumor going around earlier in the week about Overkill and their Walking Dead first-person shooter game.
No.
There was rumor going around because people were getting emails that they were getting refunds in their emails saying that their pre-order had been canceled because the game had been canceled because it got released on PC last year and got hammered with negative reviews. So Overkill just came out today, and 505 Games came out and announced today that Overkill's Walking Dead on console still exists, and, quote, the game has not been canceled, purely postponed whilst development is ongoing. We'll share further news as soon as possible. And so I don't know what as soon as possible means, but it doesn't sound like we're getting it anytime soon if they can't. Because remember, they did that with Fractured Butthole. They canceled pre-orders because they pushed it back like 4 or 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guarantee that you won't see that till like September.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
If that.
Yeah.
If that. So that's that. The third news item on the list is that former EA boss has left some details that his new studio is releasing a co-op game. Patrick Soderlund, who left EA last year, said he's working on a game in Stockholm, Sweden. And he's Sweden. Did I say Sweden?
It sounded like Sweden. Sounded like Sweden.
It's already built up a workforce of over 50 people, still growing, and it's a title that is unnamed, it sounds like, but it's cooperative, free-to-play action game set in a distant future about overcoming seemingly impossible odds by working together.
Wow.
So, sounds a little bit like Anthem, but or No Man's Sky, but we'll see. So I'm kind of excited to see what that ends up being. Hopefully something better than Anthem, but we'll talk about that too.
Yeah.
Well, actually, let's go ahead and just mention that now, because that is our next news story.
Sweet.
The roundup has begun with Anthem PS4 reviews while we're recording this. The game, of course, comes out next week. But so far,
wah, wah.
Wah, wah is right. It's probably going to wind up with about a 65 to a 70 on Metacritic.
Yeesh.
The problem people are having with it is that it's burying the story. It's incomprehensible. That combat is exciting until you get to boss fights. And you and I kind of experienced that a little bit in the beta, I think.
Yeah.
And find your wings have, quote unquote, been clipped, as GameSpot said. And that it's pretty much, if you're a fan of Destiny, you might enjoy this, but it's not going to pull anybody new in. And so that sounds like that might be an issue.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. But on the upswing side of things, PS Plus members can score exclusive loot for Apex Legends on PS4.
Sweet. Instead of wasting their time with Anthem, they can just be like, hey, I'm going to go play some Apex Legends.
Yeah, because it's clearly better and it's free.
Yeah.
So good for Respawn, though, because it's called the Play Pack. It's a bundle that contains 6 items to decorate your weaponry or your chosen legend. 2 PlayStation-themed weapon decals, one for Flatline and one for the RE45. Plus, you've got character camo and a banner for Gibraltar and a Bloodhound. I know how much you love Bloodhound.
I do.
And so I downloaded that today. You can snag that free pack on the PlayStation Store, so go ahead and go do that.
I already did.
Yeah, I did too. I'm excited to play, like I said. So that's our 5th news story.
Also, just to add on to that, because I don't think you have it here in the news, if you are a Twitch Prime member, you also get, I believe it's 5 Apex packs and a couple more skins as well.
You are correct.
So if you have to link your account, you have to link your EA account to your Twitch Prime, but it is certainly worth it because I got a badass skin for my G7 Scout, and it looks, it's intense. I love it.
Nice.
Yeah, so I feel pretty badass every time I pick up the G7 Scout. Which is most games, because I do like it as a sniper rifle.
Nice.
But yeah, if you're a Twitch Prime member, make sure you go on to Twitch Prime and link your accounts, and you'll be able to get a download from Twitch Prime as well.
So yeah, that's good stuff. Speaking of free stuff, I should say, if you got the Platinum Trophy last year for Spider-Man, apparently they have been sending out, and I haven't gotten this email yet, I don't think. They have been sending out emails with a free avatar. Sony is seemingly sending out complimentary profile pictures to anyone who obtained 100% in Insomniac Games' open world superhero smash hits. It's unclear which regions are being rewarded with the gift, but we got one in the UK, and we've seen New Zealand mentioned as well. And so I wouldn't be surprised if this comes to the stateside soon, if it hasn't already. And if it has, I would like to know where it is.
I thought I got one way back.
Oh, maybe you're right.
That was like, I thought I got mine like months ago.
You know what? You might be right. That sounds right. I think we did. You're right. I think we did. I'm going to have to go back and check through my email. Yeah. I just saw it on PushSquare, and I know it is, UK site, but they're usually pretty global with their information. So.
Yeah.
So that being said, let's move on to what you were talking about a little bit earlier with Rocket League.
Hey-o, yeah. Rocket League. Last month, Rocket League joined Fortnite as one of PlayStation 4's only games to support cross-console compatibility. What? I mean, as well it should. Come on. It's,
Oh, yeah.
But with the new update, it'll also be much easier to do so with your pals on PC and Xbox. Because the latest patch on PS4 introduces an in-game system called Friends List. In addition to showing your PS4 friends, this new feature also introduces Rocket ID, which is a universal method for finding specific players across all platforms. I'm hyped about this.
Are you really?
Yeah, honestly. Well, not necessarily because I play Rocket League with other people on different platforms, but if that's what they're doing, it's going to come soon to Fortnite. It's going to come soon to all these other things, right? So if they're pushing the envelope and making Sony do this and coming up with ways to be able to play with your friends on different systems, I'm all for it. That's why I'm hyped about it, because I know it's going to lead to other games like Apex Legends and Fortnite and all these other games that, like, you're really like, you know, not that I wouldn't play with other people on Rocket League. I just don't necessarily know anybody that has Xbox and plays Rocket League as frequently as I do. But I know I have friends who are on Xbox that play Apex Legends and, you know, Fortnite and stuff like that. So it would be nice to kind of get that kind of cross-platform connectability, you know?
Yeah, I hear you. I agree with you 100% on that.
So that's why I'm so hyped about it, because I think it kind of sets a precedent, and it'll kind of continue to be that way going forward, right?
Right.
It'll show companies that, okay, all right, we got to step it up and do this now too.
Right.
So it's exciting.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I'm excited for it too. I hope it works out nicely for everyone involved. So we'll see what happens. And hopefully, like you said, it'll lead to a couple other games as well.
Yeah.
So this one's an odd one, and I thought this was really interesting and worth including because I can't wait to see how this whole scenario just fascinates me, and I can't wait to see how it continues to unfold, I guess. This week, the long-awaited Dreams announced, Media Molecule announced that Dreams will be going into early access.
Ooh.
Which, I mean, cool. Kind of bizarre because it sounded like it was ready to come out. Now no, seriously, right? I mean, I thought it was pretty much guaranteed to come out this week or this year. Yeah. Now I feel like they're kind of stalling for a date. Maybe. And so what's even more interesting about that is that you'll be able to get the early access version of the game in spring of 2019. It won't have all of the tools that are available in the final build of the title, yet you'll have access to the same suite that the team has been using to create even more weird and wonderful things. And it's going to cost $29.99. It's going to be in limited release, which only so many people, I think, will be able to purchase it. Okay. And if you purchase it now at $29.99 in early access, you won't have to pay any more for it if it's like a full $59.99 title. Oh, okay. That's pretty good incentive, I think. Yeah, I thought so too. Get it for half off if possible, you know? Yeah, that's a really good incentive if you ask me, actually. Yeah, I think so. So I was very, very surprised to read that. Yeah. All right. So moving on. What is that? We're on number 7, I believe? I don't even know. Yeah, I think we're on 7. We're going to go with that because I was at 5 before. Now I feel like I need to know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're on 9. We're moved up to 9. Good thing you counted. Yeah. I just want to talk about, and I've been trying to search this down for weeks, and I'm so glad they finally released it. Technically, I would say 9.5 because I added a half story about Apex. Story. Yeah. 9.1. we'll number it like Kingdom Hearts does. There you go. Perfect. Speaking of Kingdom Hearts, January 2019, NPD is finally released. I was kind of curious to see this. And no surprise here, Kingdom Hearts 3 and Resident Evil 2 topped the charts, even though the industry slipped to a, quote, 19% year-over-year decline in the United States. Seems like nothing could keep pace with last year's January joy, known as Monster Hunter World. But if you look at the top 20 for January, you've got Kingdom Hearts 3, Resident Evil 2, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, I'm sorry. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Red Dead Redemption 2, Ace Combat Skies 7, NBA K219, Mario Kart 8, and Grand Theft Auto in at number 5. Or 10, I'm sorry. Grand Theft Auto 5 in at number 10. So that thing is still selling in the top 10 in January of 2019. Crazy, dude. Number 18 I wanted to point out was Spider-Man. Nice. And I wanted to point out that Assassin's Creed was 17. And that's pretty good considering those games came out last year. Same with Red Dead, I guess. Came out around the same time, right, last year. So that's good. Now, as far as PS4 software top 10, Kingdom Hearts 3, Resident Evil 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Red Dead 2, Ace Combat 7, Skies Unknown, NBA 2K19, Spider-Man at number 7, number 8, Grand Theft Auto 5, Madden NFL 19, and Battlefield 5, number 10. And so what that tells me is that on Sony's PlayStation, Spider-Man outsold Grand Theft Auto, but that Grand Theft Auto on other platforms as a whole sold more software, right? And so maybe PC people buying Grand Theft Auto 5. So that's just kind of cool, kind of interesting. Just wanted to share all that. Yeah. All right. Last but not least, number 10. I was excited about this one, so this is kind of a little bit biased, so I had to throw it on here. Haven was announced with no release date, but Haven was announced. It is a stylish co-op enabled PS4 RPG from the same people who made Fury. I don't know if you remember when I talked about Game Baker's Fury game, but I loved it. It came out a couple of years ago and I couldn't stop playing it. It was one of my top 10 games of 2016. When you get a chance, go check out that trailer. It's a pretty simple trailer. It doesn't really tell you much, but it's got the same color, same art style. It's kind of the same similar music as Fury. Did you play Fury?
I did, yeah.
And so I'm kind of excited to see what that looks like.
It was good. I liked it. It was different and a little difficult, but I mean, it was good.
Yeah, I loved it. So hopefully that will do when it comes out. But speaking of not doing well, I think it's time we talked about February in our talk.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
So this is the talk or topic of conversation. And I thought today I would just highlight these for you and you can tell me what you think. So in February, I'm just picking on the big games here going, I'm going to scroll all the way back. I'm going to scroll all the way back to February 4th. Apex Legends comes out of nowhere, smacks people in the face. 89 on Metacritic, right? We're off to a strong start.
Yeah.
After that, and I'm sticking with mostly big games, right? You've got God Eater 3 that sits at a 71 on Metacritic 4 days later. You've got, a week later, Far Cry New Dawn at a 72. And again, these aren't bad scores, but 71, 72. And then you got Jumpforce comes out the same day, 58. And then you've got Metro Exodus on the same day with a 79. So that's in the green on Metacritic if you're going by colors. And then another big game that comes out this week, upcoming, we talked about already, Anthem. And it sounds like it's going to be in the mid to low 70s at best. And so I'd like to think where we had a really strong January and February, from what I recall last year, we've got kind of a February flop situation going on. And I'm going to put Metro Exodus off to the side there because I don't think that they flopped. I think that they actually did fairly well for themselves. They've sold more than the previous Metro games did right off the bat in the first week. And they got a pretty decent Metacritic score, and I've heard pretty positive buzz about that. But the rest of February sounds like it belongs to Apex Legends, which is funny because it's a free-to-play, unannounced, out-of-nowhere game. But everything else, to me, has just been disappointing this month.
Yeah.
And I think that says something because for me, I was actually looking forward to possibly purchasing Jumpforce. It appealed to me in a way that I thought, well, I'll give it a whirl.
Yeah.
And I was also looking forward to purchasing and playing God Eater 3. And then that didn't work out either. Do you know what I mean?
So basically what you're saying is you've saved some money in February.
Yeah, I've saved money where I didn't plan on it. And not because I didn't want to.
Right.
I like saving money, but I also wanted to spend that money. I was totally content with spending that money this month.
Right.
I was going to get at least one, if not two of those games. And I was like, well, it'll last me till Devil May Cry 5 comes out. But no good, no bueno, as they say.
Yeah, no bueno indeed.
And so, I don't know. I mean, what do you think of this? Does this bode well for the rest of the year? Or not bode very well for the rest of the year?
I don't know, dude. It's hard to say. I mean,
these are titles people are looking forward to.
Yeah. Are the expectations so high, or were they hyped too much? What do you think is leading to this? Are the companies saying that they're going to be better than they are? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think what's funny to me is that all of these games, some of the games I mentioned, like Anthem and Jumpforce, they got betas.
Right.
So people got to try them out. They had problems with their betas because people were so excited to try them out.
Right.
And then on top of that, it just seems like people weren't enjoying them. So, which makes me wonder if these games were even ready to the extent that they thought they were, or if these are just misfires in terms of expectations. Because again, you're right. Maybe it's expectations and hype train.
Yeah.
Because Dragon Ball FighterZ Z last year was, right? I mean, think about it. That was pretty critically acclaimed.
Yeah.
And then you've got Jumpforce, which is more anime, manga characters, and people are another fighting game. And you're like, oh, yes, we're riding this high. And then it kind of falls apart. And then you've got God Eater 3, and people are like, oh, yes, this is Monster Hunter World of 2019, right?
Yeah.
And it fell apart. And then you had Far Cry 5, which kind of had a lukewarm reception last year, but was still good.
Right.
And then they announced New Dawn, and people are like, well, that kind of looks like a reskin. And it was. I mean, it is. Let's be honest. It's just the same, almost the same map, same thing, with some more colors added to it. And so I feel like for everything that we got positive last year in terms of similar games, we've started off we went through February kind of flopping our way around because January was good. We had Resident Evil 2 remake that people absolutely loved. You know, and then we also had, what was the other big one in January that I'm just blanking on? Oh, Ace Combat 7 came out and people loved that too, right?
Yeah.
You had Tales of Vesperia, the definitive edition that was kind of, you know, I mean, more niche crowd, but people were happy about from what I could tell.
Right.
And then you had Kingdom Hearts 3, which finally came out and everybody loved. And so it just makes me wonder what happened in February when a free-to-play game that no one heard of, that you could almost lump into January, right? Because it was right at the beginning of February.
Yeah, of course.
Ends up being the best thing that we've gotten all month.
Yeah.
And if you jump ahead to March, I mean, if we look ahead in March, we can kind of talk about some of those. Do you think, I don't know, do you think this bodes well for any of these games in the future? Do you think they'll just kind of fall off? Or do you think that maybe something like Far Cry will pick up, or are we going to see these on sale in a couple months or a couple weeks?
Yeah. Wow. I mean, we might see them on sale. It could be. I mean, I don't think it's going to be as drastic a situation as the Fallout 76.
No.
But yeah, we might see a little bit of a cutting in the pricing. I mean, I don't see why not.
Okay.
If they're not doing well and it's a slow season where people are because I don't know. I feel like this time of year, I mean, I don't necessarily look to reviews that
I don't
much.
either.
I like to do demos.
The demo is dead. Yes, it's a beta now. We don't call them demos.
Oh, my
demos
bad.
are dead.
My bad. Beta, whatever. We had fun with the beta, right?
Yeah.
But we definitely had issues while we were playing the beta. We enjoyed it, but I think, there were still some issues when we were playing. So had kind of combat issues and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it kind of put me in the mood to maybe spend money on Anthem, but then now it's like, meh, no thanks. If it's getting reviewed so terribly.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, I think it's the time of year where people are really kind of looking into that stuff because, money's tight this time of year. People have paid their bills from Christmas and are trying to get back on track. So when they see a game that's kind of meh, especially for people like you and me, who doesn't have necessarily an unlimited game budget, right?
Right.
Maybe we don't spend that money, or maybe we buy 2 less games, or like, oh, you know what? Maybe we'll look forward to this game that's in March or this game that's in April.
Yeah.
Like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
I mean, their hype train has been pretty
Solid.
steadily chugging along. You know what I mean? They keep doing these character reveals. There was that leak of possible trophy list. So, I think it's solid, and I think that's something that kind of back your money, that'll help you decide as far as that goes. But these are big titles, right? These are big titles from big companies. So who knows? Maybe there's a beta for Mortal Kombat where we're what's going on? What did they do?
Maybe that would be frightening.
Yeah, that would be very frightening. Maybe in 3 months we're talking about this with Mortal Kombat or something else. You know what I mean? Well,
I do think there's maybe one hope for February, and that would be what you played earlier today.
Yeah, Trials Rising. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'll get into my 2-minute review. I mean, I only played it for 2 minutes, but I'll give my 2-minute review when we get there. But it's silly fun. It really
yeah.
is. Yeah.
So we can talk about that, certainly. Yeah. The only other thing I wanted to mention, I think, was some of the games that are coming out in March that we might have like a good inkling of if they're going to kind of redeem what has been lackluster February. And so let me just point out some of these. You got Dead or Alive 6 on March 1st. Toe Jam and Earl Back in the Groove March 1st.
Ooh, I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I am too. I love Toe Jam and Earl from the day.
Toe Jam and Earl? Oh my gosh, I'm excited.
Limited Run Games is doing a pre-order on physical editions of that if you want it physically instead of just... And they have a collector's edition that's pretty cool too.
That's awesome.
Devil May Cry 5, March 8th. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Division 2, March 15th.
Another one of those games, though. Big title that could be a flop.
Yeah. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, March 22nd.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered that no one asked for, March 26th.
I mean, I liked it because it was American history, but I feel like, generally speaking, it was one of, if not the worst Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
As far as like reviews, I think. I don't know. I mean, I liked it, and it was glitchy, and it was buggy or whatever, but I don't know. I really enjoyed it, but yeah, it seems like a weird choice to remaster.
Yes, agreed. And so all those games are coming out in March. Now, you've got some indie games, I'm sure, that people will rant or rave about that, we're just not aware of.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for those titles and those alone. I think they'll be good, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. And so that's pretty much, I guess, where we stand, right?
Yeah. It's kind of a short topic for today, but I mean, you don't want to spend too much time talking about how bad the games are, I guess.
Yeah, and I just wanted to point out, because I do wonder, why February was so bad, because when I looked at the list of February going into March last year, I thought, or when we started getting these titles, I was thinking, oh no, I'm screwed. Now,
and I feel like in February in general has been those months where it's like nothing really comes out, or you know what I mean, like there's not a lot of like big titles. So for it to have like titles like this and then for them to not be great,
Yeah, and so I was trying to pull up a list from last year to look and see what came out in February of last year, because I would agree with you. And looking, Shadow of Colossus remake came out last year, or Dragon Quest Builders.
But that's a tried and true kind of a thing. I mean, with remastered, you're gonna have those people that absolutely love the game, and that's why they're remastering them. So like, I don't really count those. But anything else?
Yeah, I guess looking at it, well, Monster Energy Supercross came out last year, and it came out this year in February. Ooh. So I guess they're consistent.
I mean, they are.
But yeah, I guess February was kind of. That's what I'm looking to see. Moss came out last year in February. Payday 2 on the Switch. I guess that doesn't really count because it came out before that on other platforms. So yeah, I guess February was kind of quiet. But that's kind of the weird thing, right? Because January was so crazy last year. And January was kind of exciting this year. You had a couple big ones. And so February, you thought, okay, they're taking advantage of this.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. March looks to be much more exciting. And then April, we trail off a little bit with just Mortal Kombat and Days Gone as the two biggest ones, I would argue, on that list. And then we get back into things in May with Rage 2 and a couple other games. So, so it's going to be kind of a quiet spring, I think.
Yeah.
And actually really quiet going into the fall, because there's a lot of stuff that's been announced that we don't know when it's coming out this year. So we'll see what happens there.
And who knows, it may be even quieter if these games can't perform. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can tell we're getting towards the end of a software generation, and a hardware generation. You can tell PS5, and they're probably ramping everything up because it's definitely way too quiet on the Western Front right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's like not a lot going on, and which is kind of surprising. I feel like, this should be like when they're putting out amazing games because they can push the console to its limits. It's been out for so long. They know how to like work things, but I don't know. Maybe they're just ramping up for the 5.
Oh, definitely ramping up for 5.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. You want to do your 2-minute review?
You know what?
Are we
let's go with your 2-minute review, because I'll be honest, I don't feel like I really did enough to warrant a 2-minute review this week.
Okay. I mean, I played for like 2 minutes, so it's going to be a true 2-minute review.
Well, that's just enough, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm just saying. So, I mean, if I can do it, I think you can. You've played more than I have of Ronin, right?
Yeah, I played about a half-hour Ronin. It's a little game that came out last year.
Yeah.
And so...
you could do it. Come on.
All right. So, or a couple years ago, I should say.
Yeah.
So, Ronin is a little...
2 minutes starting now.
All right. Ronin is a little tiny action platformer strategy-based game. What I have to say about it is it's really simple graphics. You can kind of you can check out the whole level ahead of time, which I really enjoy about the thing. You kind of plan. And so it's true like a tactical strategy game in that regard. But it's also an action/stealth game. And so the only time you're forced to make moves and take turns is when an enemy has you in their sights and they're going to shoot you. Or slash you, because there's samurais in there as well. It's frustrating. I've played each level that I've played so far multiple times, dying multiple times, because it doesn't seem like there's as much strategy as much as there is trial and error. Like I said, it's about 3 years old, 2 years old on PlayStation. Well, I know it's 3 years old on PlayStation now that I think about it.
Wow.
4 years old on Steam and other consoles, I guess. But it's worth the $10. I think I paid $5 for it or $3 for it. And so, that's really all I'm going to say. I'm going to give the extra time to you this week.
Sweet. That was a minute. Almost exactly.
Because it's enjoyable, but, nothing to write home about.
I'm going to try to do a minute review. Then it'll be like a 2 minute. We'll each have 1 minute review making up a 2 minute review, right?
Okay.
All right, so I played Trials Rising for literally probably 5 minutes before we started this podcast. And oh my gosh, it took me back to the free one, which was Fusion, I believe.
Yes.
Oh, it's so fun. I literally just started laughing at the end of the track, because they always have like that goofy thing. Like you finish the track and your guy's kind of there at the end, and they always do something to like hit the guy or like ragdoll him in some way. And it was just silly. Like, I think the track was called Colorado, and you're racing through like the mountains-ish of Colorado. The one thing I will say about this one is they kind of changed the view a little bit, where it kind of follows you a little bit differently. It's still, you're still only leaning forward or backward to balance. You don't have to turn left or right, but the way the camera angle kind of goes, kind of follows you in a weirder way. But I loved it. The graphics are amazing. I was blown away by like how good the graphics were. And, I don't know. It was just so much fun. It's such a silly game. I played the track twice so I could get the gold on it, and I did. And I don't know. It's just, I couldn't stop laughing after you finish it. You're just like, and I'm sure down the line it'll be more frustrating, obviously, but it was so much fun. It was such a blast to play just like a couple games and just laugh my butt off. Nice. At the ridiculousness of it.
Nice. Pretty good.
Yeah. And you can also, I think that this is added. I don't remember doing this in the other one. You can also like choose your like female or male character and like skin tone or something like that. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think you put it in the last one. I might be wrong.
I don't remember doing that in the last one, but it was kind of cool. So, and then you could choose. There's 3 different voice styles. I forget something. One was chill and one was dramatic, but I forget what the other one was.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Awesome. Well, that's going to wrap up, I guess, our 2-minute reviews for the week. Let's go ahead and the thing I think I really want to talk about or focus on maybe is the PlayStation blog now. So see you soon.
Oh yeah, see you soon.
All right. So these are the games that are coming out or have come out this past week by the time you're listening to this. And so we'll talk about these a little bit and mention each one and go from there. And then we'll be set for the day. Nothing better than wrapping it up with the blog.
Right. I'm going to let you go first on this one.
Okay. I feel like you got something down below you need to read. All right. Almost There, the platformer. Sprint between saw blades while dodging homing missiles. Oh, I thought there was more to that. Sprint between saw blades while dodging homing missiles. I thought it was going to make like a list, right? Duck under lasers while the floor crumbles beneath you. Almost There was designed specifically for fans of the hardcore platforming genre. You've been warned.
Hardcore platforming. That's pretty awesome.
Hardcore.
What would you say is hardcore platforming? What like Celeste or like what is it, Meat Boy?
Yeah, even Meat Boys I don't think is too bad, comparatively speaking.
Okay. All right. Anthem, PS4 digital retail out 2/22. That's tomorrow, as of this recording. It's already out if you're listening to this. On a world left unfinished by the gods, a shadowy faction threatens all of humankind. The one thing that stands between the villains and the ancient technology they covet are the freelancers. Join with up to 3 other players and assemble high-tech, handcrafted, uniquely powerful exosuits.
Ooh. See, that sounds really nice.
It sounds cool, but Is it going to be cool? Probably not.
Probably not. No.
Probably not.
And that makes me sad.
Right.
All right. This one also got a poor review, although I kind of think it's kind of neat. So we'll see.
Oh, yeah. I saw a little preview of this. I thought it looked pretty cool, too.
Yeah. But reviews did not favor it too well. So we'll have to maybe see. It might be one of those ones that just kind of judge for yourself kind of deal. I mean, again, that's how I do most of my gaming, but
sure.
You know what I mean. All right. Well, it's called Chrome. I almost forgot to read the title. Chromagun VR, PSVR digital. Welcome to Chromatech's Test Lab. You're here to test our state-of-the-art military-grade color technology. I love that almost all of that is hyphenated.
Right.
The Chromagun, patent pending. Use it to solve our meticulously designed test chambers by painting the walls and droids. Remember how to mix colors from preschool? Congratulations, you qualify. All right.
I feel like that's a pretty quippy review. I like that. Or a pretty quippy description. Yeah. You know, like most of these are usually pretty bad, but I like that. That's a pretty good description. Yeah. All right. Daggerhood, PS4, PS Vita digital cross-buy. Daggerhood sets his sights on stealing the king's gold. Every man should have a skill, and for Vincent S. Daggerhood, that skill was thieving. Armed with a dagger he can throw and reclaim by teleporting to its current position. He's going to need your help. I kind of like that you can teleport after you throw your dagger.
Yeah, no kidding.
That sounds pretty cool.
All right. This next one I'm actually kind of was excited about. Now I've kind of changed my mind since then. And I don't mean that in a mean way. Just, you know, it's gotten less than stellar reviews. And so I'm a little worried that maybe it's a flop and I just don't know it.
Okay.
But it is Death End, RE, Quest.
Death End Request?
Death End Request.
Cool.
Video game programmer Ariata Mitsunashi discovers his missing colleague, Shina Ninomiya, is trapped in the virtual video game world they created. How can Shina escape? Complete the game and unlock the perfect ending. A success rate of 1%.
What?
Yeah. And what I like about this, and what I'm excited about with this one, is not just that, but if you don't like the play, so it's like an action RPG, right?
Okay.
But you're able in the middle of battles, certain ones anyway, to switch how the battle unfolds. So instead of it being like an action RPG, you can turn it into a first-person shooter, or you could turn it into a top-down, you know, like fighter,
like dual-stick shooter, yeah.
Yeah, twin-stick shooter, or you could turn it into like a platforming fighter. Like you can literally change. And I don't know exactly how it works. I don't understand the mechanics because I watched a little bit of a stream, but literally you're able to, each battle unfolds differently and you can change how you want the battle to unfold.
See, I feel like that would be right up your alley because
Nier Automata?
Exactly. That kind of reminds me of Nier Automata where like the, you know, kind of switches between the different views and the different kind of ways to fight stuff. So, I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Up next, DreamWorks Dragons, Dawn of New Riders, PS4 digital retail. Join Scribbler and Patch in an epic battle to save dragons and defeat the villain Ears? E-I-R apostrophe S? Ears?
Sure.
Ears' evil plans. Clash against fierce enemies and meet many DreamWorks Dragons characters in this fun and fiery action-adventure.
Nice. Sounds interesting.
This looks fun.
All right, next up.
This one's for you, Dave.
Yeah, Dave. This one's definitely up your alley. Farm together. Grow your own farm all by yourself, or cooperate with your friends in this unique, relaxing farming experience. Start from scratch with a small plot and end with a huge farm that extends further than the eye can see.
Wow.
Wow. It's so far that they had to use further instead of far.
Farther.
I mean, grammatically, that's correct.
Really?
Yeah. Because if it's in measurable distance, it's further. If it's measurable distance, it's farther. So they're saying that it literally will grow so far you can't see it.
Huh,
yeah.
Interesting.
So touche.
Thank you for the English lesson along with that little description. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
I'll
do what I can.
Hacky Zack. That's right. Hacky Zack. PS4 digital. You are Zack. Juggle balls, bounce off walls, and avoid fatal falls as you try to make it through more than 100 levels of precision puzzle platforming. Collect stickers along the way to unlock optional time trial challenges levels, as well as extra playable characters who are also extra cute.
Nice.
I liked the balls, walls, falls. I thought they were going to try to keep going with that.
Yeah. They tried.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
All right. Hell Warders. PS4 out digital 2/21. Hell is at our gates. Rise up as one of the mighty Hell Warders, an ancient order to resist the demon hordes head on. Push back wave after wave of Hellspawn with an arsenal of weapons and deploy your army to bring the fight back to hell. That sounds like one of those ones where they just line up like 100 enemies on screen and you just waste them.
That'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hexamaze PS4 digital out today as of this recording. Exciting brain twisters for puzzle fans. Tricky puzzles to test your brain power. Work your way from level to level by clearly fitting the colorful hexagonal blocks into the templates. With 4 different levels of difficulty, this puzzle will be enjoyed by beginners and experts alike.
Nice. Doesn't sound too shabby.
Yeah.
If you're into that kind of thing. All right.
This next one looks real good.
Pode. Pode is a co-op puzzle exploration game about a rock and a fallen star working together to solve ancient puzzles in a stunning environment inspired by Norwegian art and culture.
Yeah, that looks... I've seen gameplay of it. It looks pretty cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's you use the star to illuminate some of the areas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Queen's Quest 2, Stories of Forgotten Past. What? Is that grammatically correct? I don't know. Stories of Forgotten Past, PS4 digital. All right. When the king asked a famous alchemist to look into the murder of his most trusted agent, the last thing the alchemist expected was to discover an intricate network of criminals working from the shadows to bring chaos to the land. All right, but what do you do?
Your guess is as good as mine there.
Oh my gosh. That's like they wrote the exposition but skipped the main plot? Okay, anyways, go ahead.
Oh yeah, Well, I guess since it's Queen's Quest 2, you should probably know is what they're telling you.
Yeah, because we should have known from after the first one what was going to happen.
Yeah, you clearly failed. So this next one I'm actually really excited about because this one it's a bullet hell shooter, like a hyperkinetic shooter.
Okay. And
look up some gameplay for it. It looks amazing and it looks like a doable platinum. And so I think I'm going to swing for it. Rhyme 9000. I hope it's Rhyme and not Rim. Save an Island. I've never had anybody say it out loud, so I'm going to assume it's Rhyme.
It's RYM. So it could be like gym, could be pronounced like gym, like gymnasium.
Yeah, Jim Rim. Yeah. I think it's Rhyme, though. Yeah. Save an island in peril on a childhood holiday, with restless spirits threatening the safety of Turumi Island's inhabitants. Time must venture through the dangerous dungeons and across a variety of environments to put spirits to rest. That is not do it any justice for what it looks like. Seriously, go look up gameplay of that right now and tell me if that even, I'll even read the next one if I need to, and tell me that does not even look like that description.
I mean, I can still read the next one.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm going to type it in, and while Google
it's like the 50th one in this entry. So go ahead, in this series. I mean.
Okay. All right. Hold on 1 second. I will. All right. It's pulled up. I'll read the next one, and then while you're reading the last one,
do it.
I can. All right. All right. Steins Gate Elite. Ready to play the anime? Experience a fully animated adventure with brand new scenes in Steins Gate Elite. Follow a group of young, tech-savvy, quote, lab members who discover how to change the past via email using a modified microwave. I mean, if you're going to change past emails, you got to modify the microwave.
Well, I actually started playing. Yeah, I started playing one of the Steins Gates, and it's funny how that microwave is like super important. It's a really cool like visual novel based on the anime. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
This guy's like I ain't gonna go into it. It'll make me sound nerdy already more than I am. All right.
I think it's way too late for that, Rob.
Yeah,
I'm just throwing that out there, but.
Unexplored, Unlocked Edition. Descend into the depths of the Dungeon of Doom and complete your quest. Steal the amulet of Yendor from the fearsome dragon and make it out alive. Unexplored is an accessible yet challenging action RPG that has won praise for its revolutionary level generation tech. So I take it this is a reboot or a unlocked, special edition of Unexploreds, obviously.
Yeah,
probably. So there you go.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching a release trailer, and it has showed me nothing in that time span.
Nothing?
No.
Oh, Rhyme 9000, really?
Yeah. I mean, it looks kind of cool. I mean, it looks, I don't know.
Oh, is it the release trailer? It's like 2 minutes and 22 seconds long?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
It's confusing, and I'm trying to skip through things, and it doesn't really look like it's telling me much.
Are you kidding me?
It kind of looks like Galaga.
Galaga?
Galaga. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the point. Now, where do you get like island inhabitants from that?
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true.
Like it's literally like this crazy space shooter. Like if you would see the action, it's almost nauseating how many it's not, if you're a faint at heart with colors and explosions, it's insane.
Like it even says even on the YouTube video, the first thing it said is epilepsy warning.
Yeah, it is insane.
That's the first 4 seconds. It's like epilepsy warning. Oh, okay.
I think that's one that I will probably, I can't imagine it's more than $10. I bet it's $9.99. I'll probably dip into that one. And
you would.
I can't help it. One person had the trophy last time I had checked, the platinum trophy. And so I could be like the second person in the world if I hop on it right away.
Yeah, you better hurry.
Yeah, seriously.
All right.
All right.
Real quick, just to go back to the Spider-Man thing we mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I did get an email from Sony way back in November.
Okay. So I just forgot.
About how many hours I played, and congratulations on the Platinum Trophy. Here's the redeem your avatar code.
That's what I thought. Okay. So I was wrong.
But good thing you did that, because I was searching through my PlayStation emails and I found another code for free for 3 free themes.
Oh, nice.
PlayStation. Yeah.
I'll have to check my email.
I was like, I didn't notice that. It's in January, and it was sent with what looked to be like how many your game stats for the year,
right?
Which I didn't realize had something with it.
Okay.
I think I looked at my game stats and I clicked on the video for it, but then didn't scroll to the bottom of the email and said, "Hey, here's 3 free themes from PlayStation." I was like, okay. So yeah. So look at that.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Check that out. Cool. Is that it?
That is it, my friend. That'll wrap us up for today.
Even after our talk, you're not going to do any Metacritic reviews?
No, I really should. I'm actually going to bring that back next episode now that we've had all these terrible games that came out in January. So that I can have
the February Flops edition.
Yeah, I'll do the February Flops edition next next week, I promise.
All right, cool.
Yeah, that's going to wrap it up.
Sweet.
We appreciate you coming by and hanging out with us, stopping by, and we'll we'll do this again real soon, like sometime next week.
Probably, yeah, that sounds right.
All right, until next time. Game on.
Game on. This is the outro music. It's a random outro music for this week. Yeah!
We need you to do some like smooth jazz.
Oh, smooth jazz outro? All right, I'll save that for next week. Tune in next week for some smooth jazz.